What can I tell you about the Earth?
This should be interesting.
Well, I suppose the environment bit sort of concerned me a bit more recently.
Why?
Just because of like where I've moved to now. The bloke who owns the other flats, he doesn't live in there.
Right.
So I've got to call him up and say stuff like, bins need emptying.
Right.
Well, basically though, I'm now, because I'm the one who owns it, he's made me, I'm basically a caretaker for the block. that's what I'm saying. On Tuesday I was outside putting a new switch on the wall, because it's got them switches that you push and you've got like, gives you 5 minutes before the lights go off.
Oh yeah.
And that was stuck on. And I don't like wasting energy because I've got to pay for that electric out there in the hallway.
What do you mean it was stuck on? Well, it wasn't real.
No, he's stuck on.
No, it's stuck. He means it's stuck.
The thing that you push in,
Stuck
stuck
in
in.
on mode.
Right.
Yeah.
So the lights are on like all day. So I had to go out and buy a new one of them. 25 quid it was.
Really?
25 quid. I've changed that. Now, in a way...
So all that energy you saved by it going on and off was blown in one fell swoop by you having to pay 25 quid to replace it.
Exactly. Does anyone care? Does anyone notice? Don't know. But I
You're doing
feel
your bit
like
there.
I'm doing my bit there. That's that was just this week. God knows what other stuff I've done along the way. But just this week, and but I quite like it. I quite like having a like responsibility now. I've kind of got a little job. I said to you ages ago how I'd like to work at B&Q.
Yeah.
I like the idea of fixing things, helping people out. I've got to stay in all day tomorrow because I'm having a lock changed on the front door.
Yeah.
It's been my little job. I've got to stay in. He's coming between 1 and 3.
I don't know. I thought your job was washing up.
Yeah, but now we've got a dishwasher. That's sort of been made redundant from that game. So I've
goodbye plunger.
Suzanne said I'm getting
sponge.
getting a bit carried away because I keep putting up signs on the door to people saying things like, make sure you don't hit the button too hard on the light switch.
Right.
Make sure the door's shut behind you.
And
make sure.
is this in English language or Karl speak? Right. Don't be squashing it too hard, like. Right.
Suzanne sort of said try and make him a bit more friendly because sometimes it's like you're shouting at him.
Well, like what? What'd you say?
Just no sort of hello everyone or anything. It's just
All
do
in
this, will
capitals.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's told me
Well, he
to
only
calm
writes
down.
in capitals. He didn't ever learn to write. He's never.
You're right, I've never seen him write anything other
He
than
doesn't
capitals.
write in small case, and he doesn't do joined up. Everything's in capitals.
I'm never in that much of a rush that I've got to do joined up writing.
Can you do joined up writing if you wanted to?
I don't think I've ever done it. I've never done joined up writing.
Can you write a sentence for me now that says, "Hello, my name is Karl Pilkington and I'm writing this sentence in joined up writing"?
Go on, do it,
Please.
I'll stick it on the
I've
blog.
never.
Right. Oh, Jesus! It's
So
already.
what am I saying again?
Hello.
And you want me to try joined up?
Yeah.
Well, I want you to try joined up.
No, well, all I
writing joined
do
up.
when I was taught.
Well, no,
to
you haven't joined up one.
No,
There's
but
not
this
one
is how
letter
I was
joined
taught.
yet.
That's how I used to do it, like that at school.
joining up
afterwards. That's
Okay.
amazing.
Listeners, he just wrote the word hello and then joined up the letters afterwards.
That's how we were taught to do it at school.
What's the point in that?
Just 'cause it looks grown up.
Twice as long.
Imagine how long an essay would take going through.
I don't understand what the
What you
problem
should
is
do,
here.
if you to make it easier, to make it even clearer, maybe cut out letters from a newspaper and stick them on.
Yeah, and then stick it, and then cut out lines from
Yeah.
a paper and join the letters that way.
So yeah, that's been my job at the moment. But I'm just so I might get into the recycling thing. I might sort of get some of them bins outside.
Well, we've seen you're a fan of recycling. When you tell us about a mattress that was used more than once. Think how many great things England has given the world.
Great people.
The great people. That's it. The Great Britons. Let's look at the Great Britons, not the idiots.
Can I nominate Shakespeare, please?
Shakespeare. Newton. Isambard Kingdom Brunel.
Mr. Winston Churchill.
Mr. Winston Churchill.
Mr. Charles Dickens.
You know what I mean?
Queen Elizabeth I.
Look, the kings and queens that used to go into battle.
They're all old though. Everyone you've been talking
Well,
about.
they're all
old.
dead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why aren't you
You
saying?
want recent ones?
Oh yeah.
David Beckham.
Not the same though, is it?
No, it's not the same. I think Steve was being a little bit flippant there.
One thing I do like is when the likes of David Beckham and the gang are playing, the England football team are perhaps in Europe or the World Cup, that's when you see the St George's flag up, and there's no jingoism involved there. It's good old, the Sun reprints it in the middle pages. You can tear that out and put it in your window, which is the St George's flag, slightly ruined by the small logo that says The Sun on it. Great, that is lovely. People get bright behind England, don't they, then?
Yeah, but they're the nutters, aren't they? That's
They're
what
not.
I'm saying
The
to you.
whole nation does.
They are. They're the ones who leave it in the window. That's the only reason they've got a flag in the window is they're the curtains in their house. And they stay up. They never close that window. No matter what the weather's like, you see it blowing outside the window. They're not worried about the heating because they never pay the bills. That's how I think about it. Nutters.
It is frightening when you go through an estate and it's like 30 satellite dishes and 12 flags and a couple of pit bulls tied up the fence, and you think, keep driving, do not break down here, do not break down here, have you put enough petrol in this car?
But I don't know who
Well, who would you nominate as one of the great Englishmen or Englishwomen of the current age?
do you know what, it'd be someone who you don't even know.
Yeah.
Well,
That's the
okay,
thing.
nominate them then.
Well, I don't know him. But what I'm saying is, it'll be someone like a surgeon or
bloke who helps you with
or
your
a
gallstones?
doctor. Just anyone who's, busy saving lives, never gets a look in, never hear about him. They're the people who are doing the good stuff.
Yeah.
Not your... I mean, Darwin,
I think it's out of him and Churchill for my favourite Englishman.
But why? Why? What's he done, really? Churchill's fine. If it weren't for him, I'd be speaking German. I've said it before. But Darwin, I'd still be here. It doesn't change anything. If nobody had said that before and they said it today, you'd probably go, look at him, what an idiot Darwin is. He's saying that we came from apes.
No, I wouldn't, because I'd look at the evidence.
No, you wouldn't. Everybody slagged him off back then. He said at one point that he wishes he kept his mouth shut. He said, I wish I hadn't said it. He said, there's certain things you think and you shouldn't say it out loud because people have a go at you.
That's a feeling you must have daily.
I've done that. I've put stuff in my books and I've gone, that's it now, that's there forever.
Like what?
The theory about the brain, about how it came about.
What was that theory?
I did, just had a thought, just like Darwin did. He sort of, looked at the evidence and thought, how can this have happened?
Right.
He went the animal route. I went the route of, it could have been, the brain could have been from another planet.
Okay, absolute
That one.
bollocks then. So you
The
didn't look at
brain
any
could have
evidence.
been from another planet.
There
What
you
do
go,
you mean?
you're jumping in.
What, so
Yeah.
an alien gave it to us?
Well, the brain is the alien. So our brains are the aliens on this planet.
What difference does that make? How is that a theory? So how did we evolve before the alien came down? We were just walking around bumping into shit while we going, I need a brain. I wish I had a
It would have
brain.
been like that. We would have been like a chimp. The chimps were still
Well,
involved
they've
in
got
it.
brains.
They're not as brainy as us, are they? There's a planet with a load of brains on it.
Just brains.
They're floating around.
So no gravity.
There's no gravity.
Why don't they just float off completely then? Why are they on a planet?
Because it's like one of them balloons, a helium balloon. They only go so high. And then
Right.
it stops. There's a limit. So they're all floating about
This
like
seems
that.
like unnecessary information. The key thing is there's
Oh.
brains floating around.
But how are they surviving on this planet, Karl? I'm just testing your theory.
Right, what are you worried about? What do you mean surviving? What do
Well-
they need? It's a brain.
What do you mean? The brain needs all the things that all life needs. Oxygen. It's got no atmosphere. It's dead straight away. I don't know where it came from. So that's it. It needs water. It needs
Hang on a minute. It's
nutrients.
not everything's
it
like
needs
that.
energy.
Not everything's like that.
Well,
And
it is.
that's-
The brain is like that.
So anyway, this
So that's full
is the
sound already.
theory. Pretend I'm giving. I'm at a
what? I mean, it's like talking to fucking Clunk.
His brain's floated off again.
You'd be better off with a helium balloon in
I'm
your
at a
head.
university.
Right.
Let him do his lecture and then you can ask questions at the end.
Okay.
Right. Welcome everyone. I'm here to talk about how the brain came about. Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
Okay.
Professor Pilkington.
Thanks.
Right. This is what I propose. I'm not going to go on long-winded about it. I want to jump to the meat of it.
Right.
Darwin said the brain evolved.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Let him have his say. Right?
Right.
We all know his story. Let's not harp on about what he said.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, they could have been, and they may still be, a planet with just brains on it.
Right? Yes.
Right, now that's good that you're laughing, because I'd say, right, I've got them now, they're on my side, they're all listening to me, they're sick of scientists coming in with all big long words and stuff. Right, so there's a planet with the brains
Proof.
on. Now, they did alright for a while. They were up there, all they were doing all day is thinking. They had nothing else to do.
Sure.
Right.
They did a lot of thinking.
Floating around, bumping into each other.
But there's only so far you can go with thinking.
Yep.
So then,
Amazing quote.
they thought about how to get to this planet. They worked it
What
out.
planet?
A few of them. Earth.
Can I just ask one question?
It lands.
How
no,
could
not
they
yet.
see? How could they
They're
see?
Don't worry about that yet.
No eyes.
Things happen. Well, there's moths without eyes.
Yeah, but
They get on fine.
But they don't think about the planets.
So the brain comes to planet Earth. When it
Jesus.
gets there,
Yeah.
thud, lands on the floor.
Right. Because of gravity.
Yeah. The brain ended up getting on the floor
Yeah.
into the monkey's head. And from
did it
there,
get into
that's
that?
when it's evolved. Well, we
Okay.
don't know. There's a lot of things we don't know.
Well, yeah, but I've got to ask you questions, right? I can start one. Where did the brain? How did the brain come about on this planet? How did that evolve? Where did that come from?
Why is it that you accept that it could evolve on another planet, but not on this planet? Why is it? Why you're happy
That's
that it
my
evolved
point.
on another planet, but then it had to make its way
Well, maybe some
through
have.
space?
But what I'm saying is the brainier ones might be from another planet.
Well, why?
Because there's no, it doesn't make sense. Your Darwins, Churchills maybe,
Right.
or your
They've
Shakespeare's.
got alien brains.
They could have. They could have. The brighter
No, they-
people who you just go, I don't know how he ever thought of that.
Like
The people who have said things about, we're talking about DNA. There's no
Right.
way that human brain would have ever come up with that.
It did.
No, but it just makes you wonder how they did.
Well,
Stephen Hawking, you see, that's almost like it's not his body. It's like this brain's come from somewhere, this, magnificent brain.
Right.
And it's just overpowered the rest of the body to the point that there's no energy for that rest of the body to do anything. And it just sits there with the brain throbbing, thinking of stuff. Not even worrying about this planet anymore, going on about the universe. Whoa, Stephen, come back. I'm not Stephen. I'm just the brain. And that's how I look at him. I can't imagine, and I'm not disrespecting the man, but I can't see a human being that intelligent.
And can I just remind you that Darwin's Theory of Evolution is available in the same bookshops as Karl Pilkington's book, which expands on this theory. That is democracy at work.
When brain come from planet Earth, thud, creeping monkey.